Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
So silently. We are waiting Vlad, I guess. Looks like some problems. Vlad,
Yes, waiting for
you're
Vlad.
with us. Great.
Guys, sorry for the delay. So I had some emergency on my provider side and had to really switch to the mobile setup. Okay, hello everyone. We will not wait for a minute even. So welcome everyone at our 51st weekly DeFi governance call. So we have quite an agenda for today, and yeah, sorry to jump in and just interrupt your discussion. So what we're saying, guys?
Nothing, that you're
Nothing.
not there.
Okay. Okay, very good. So actually, we have quite tight agenda for today, and we have 2 AMA sessions today and 1 contest discussion. So let's begin. So first of all, let's start with the contest update traditionally. So we have the DEX contest voting stage coming to its end, and so there are 3 and something days left. So please do not put aside until the very last moment, and make sure to vote for those. We will have the FLEX presentation today, and to discuss. Sorry. Yeah, so to present the solution for this contest, and maybe some other teams will wish also to prepare at least a short demo of the solution to help jurors make the decision. Okay, and there is also 1 day left for the Free-on Self-Sovereign Identity Framework Stage 2 to submit. So if anyone is willing to participate in this contest, so please do not put aside again for the very last moment. So there are still no submissions in there, so but I hope that we will have some. Yeah, so that's it actually for contest updates, and we will discuss a decentralized launchpad contest today, but a bit later. So and now let's directly jump into Flex AMA. Mitja, please.
Yeah. So
you
just
can share the screen. Yeah.
No. I will not present. Like there are Sergio Zaitsev who will present, I think, the solution. I will just say, just to remind everyone what is Flex really, and what's the challenge in there. So the Flex is the first decentralized order book exchange on Free-on, and it also like the only decentralized order book which also made in distributed computing and distributed programming, which means that all its contracts are completely atomic, meaning there is no central hash map of anything in Flex. Now, so after we built the order book itself, we have also added the pools. Now it's important that, by the way, can you please mute whoever is not talking? Thanks. It is important that that the exchange will have a liquidity pool, right? So because we have a order book, we don't need to have a liquidity pool as an exchange. I mean, I just want to remind everyone that liquidity pool as working as an exchange solution is just something proposed by Vitalik Buterin to avoid the limitations of the other blockchains where you could not do properly order book. Like if they to use the liquidity pool as an exchange is a hack, really. It's not what you would do if you wouldn't have limitations of the other blockchains have. So because traditional exchanges are not liquidity pools, traditional exchanges are order books, and there is a reason for that. Actually, not one and not two reasons for that. And if you want to provide the liquidity, there are separate mechanisms for that, which called market making, right? Usually you have like NASDAQ or NYSE like exchange, which is an order book exchange, which can produce like millions of transactions per second, more or less, right, on this order books. And if you want to provide the liquidity, you need to be a market maker. You create your own market making pool, algorithms and so on. And you can use different strategies, different algorithms for maintaining your pools. You can have an investments that come to your pool from different sources, and you can pay different whatever fees on top of that. So it's really flexible structure where everything is separated. Like in the blockchains, like in solutions like Ethereum, you have Uniswap, where you cannot do all of these things. So you cannot have strategies, you cannot have all the order book, like what order books gives you, and you also cannot have liquidity pools on top of liquidity pool, because this is the liquidity pool itself. So the Flex is more traditional in terms of its architecture as an exchange, because Freeton and particular, like in general, and distributed programming in particular, allows you to do such things. Now you can use the whole Freeton as a database, and that's what Flex is doing. So I think today's presentation, and this is one aspect of that. This is a backend, right? And well, I already explained that once, so just repeating that. Now we added the AMM, so today's presentation will contain an AMM to the pair, and anyone can create as many. You can create as many market maker pools as you want, and you can create an AMM and market pool on top of that with any rules whatsoever, and so on. You can create mechanics like a Uniswap token, for example, listing over the liquidity pool over the order book, decentralized order book like Flex. And we will continue to work on this. And there is a project that I think already promoted on the last community call, which is my podcast, which I'm starting, which actually will be a Launchpool, and that's why I'm actually very interested in the contest that I didn't know that you're going to launch about the liquidity, about the Launchpads and Launchpools. I would very much like to participate in that, because actually that's what I'm doing right now. So we are
actually you're more than welcome.
Well, you see, it's great
as usual.
So,
I think that's
unbelievable coincidence. I really didn't know anything about this.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm really just challenging all the DEX teams to also participate in the IDO contest, because actually it is something that is complementary to the DEX itself, and it's the next logical step, at least.
Yeah. So anyway, so for example, I'm going to start the podcast, which will be actually Launchpool on top of Flex Exchange, but with a separate set of smart contracts on top of some AMM, which will be configured to accommodate the Launchpool, which again, something you cannot do with the regular, you know, liquidity pool type of exchange like Uniswap. Well, it's at least it's very hard to do. I'm not saying maybe you can, but it's really hard to do. So this is one aspect of that, and the other aspect of that is the interface. All right. So today we're going to show you the graphical user interface, not only the what you call the bot user interface, but I want to say a few words about this interface. This interface is actually the bot. It is true, real debot running in a browser in a technology we call, and it's described in the white paper, technology is called pipes. And this thing allows you to actually take debot actions, make pipes out of that, and wrap it into the normal kind of what you say, normal web page. But this web page is actually, it's a package which executes in BASM, and that package is, it's a standalone package. You can download it from anywhere you want, like you can take it on CD-ROM, I don't know, a USB drive, and or distribute it any way you want, and then you just open it in the browser, and it will start to execute the SDK with 10gen debots, and on top of these debots, it will execute locally the web interface. And you will see that you have actually familiar just web page, but I just wanted you to understand, and I want judges also to understand, and actually like go and see it, that it's a completely, like there is no web page really, there is no web server involved. It's all debot technology from the beginning till the end. Okay, and
okay, sold.
Now switching to Sergey.
Switch.
Of course, this is just the MVP, so like on the interface side, we will continue to work on that. But I think you will get the idea. Sergey, the floor is yours. Thanks.
Thank you, Mitja, for the introductory words. And I'm happy. I was especially honored today to make a presentation on behalf of the FLEX team. The other team members may correct me, or it's something I forget to highlight. Here we have today present, as I saw, apart from Mitja here, Andrew, FLEX contract developer, Michael, FLEX debot developer, and Nikita, debot browser developer. And this is only part of great developers from our team. Okay, and here's we have, I just shared this interface. As you already know, the FLEX is a distributed order book, and traders communicate with it with the help of FLEX debot. So this debot can be accessed both from debot browser itself, or we added here a graphical user interface for traders, which is currently available at flex.ton.surf. So Mitja already mentioned that basically whenever you load the bundle to your local machine, all transactions are executed locally and doesn't depend on the server at this address. So basically we need to keep it in mind. Let's go to the interface, see what's currently available here. First, we've got a network switcher, and the interface currently works with both mainnet and DevNet. And near to it, we see trade pairs switcher. There are not many pairs in mainnet at the moment, but we see some pairs that we created for demonstrations, especially called them test 1, test 2, just to discourage people to spend real money on these tokens at the moment. So for each trade pair, we have 3 major areas. The first area is the charts area. Then we have the order book and recent trades area. And finally, we have a buy and sell areas. where traders can buy or sell the first token in the trade pair. There are also a couple of useful links available. I just want to mention it. The first is a link to a help document in FLEX. So it's a general inscription for newcomers. What is FLEX? What can I trade on FLEX? How to buy and sell, and so on. And it will be updated when we add or update our features. So let us return here, and the other useful link is GetSurf. So basically, for users who don't yet a Surf wallet yet, an account in Surf is required for trading on the Flex exchange. So it's provided as well as a useful reference. Let's see more detail into specific areas. So for test2 tone pair in mainnet, there are we have an order book with manually posted orders by, let's say, individual traders. Orders for sale highlighted in red, and orders buy orders highlighted in green. We see that a horizontal bar is proportional to the value in the orders at this price level. That is the amount multiplied by price. So we see that overall value in sell orders much higher than in buy orders. The overall market for this token looks a little bearish. Not too much transactions. There are some of them, but we can see here a depth chart, some price history for this token. Not much for the candlestick chart. We'll show this chart demonstrated at another pair later in the demonstration. So let's try to make transactions in Flex in this order book. Assume I want to buy a few tokens at the best market price, and I see that the best market price here is around 0.1 ton per TP token. So I can just click this price to autofill the buy order fields. So I don't want to buy at 148. I think 3 tokens is enough for me. I press the buy button, and now being redirected to the SurfD bot. Let us go through authorization.
We cannot see that, you know that, right? Because you share only one screen.
I see. Probably I need to stop share here and
just reshare, yeah.
It's unlikely because it's interesting to to see both interfaces.
Ah, yeah, well.
Okay, yeah. Let me reshare the new interface, but it's
anyway, you can try yourself, so kind of get the same experience.
Share your entire screen.
Entire screen?
Yep.
Yeah. Can we now see both screen?
Yes, yes, we can.
So we have FlexD bot and both trading.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. So basically, we have some information messages. Clicking that I understand. Actually, I can't make a buy here. I need to send some tokens at my client. I was trading too intensely probably today to spend all tokens.
Send me
Okay.
your address. I'll send you some tokens.
Here's my
Sergio
address.
can send himself, I think.
No problems. No problems.
As you can see, he doesn't have any problem.
Okay.
No. It's rubies. Okay.
We realize that.
Yeah.
I have more.
Just maybe stop sharing to send.
Well, let me stop sharing for the moment, and I send some tokens. Yeah. It's interesting. Так. Just a moment. I think. Okay, let me. I think they will arrive soon. Probably I'll close this instance and reshare the screen again.
Yeah.
So let's try one more time by testing. You see, if you don't have a Flex client deployed, the bot will ask you to deploy the client first. But I'm happy to have the client deployed, hopefully enough balance. Okay, now it's okay. You see that this buy will cost me 1.8 tons, so the bot adds 1.5 token on top of the total sum, just to ensure that all transactions will be executed and unused part will be returned later. So I'm happy to continue here. Let me confirm transactions. So currently, I initiated an external message that was sent to the Flex client, and it initiated a chain of transaction within the bot. But we need to look here. This amount should change first after I buy. The deal will be done. Oh, we see here it was 838 and now 835. So my 3 tokens has been purchased, and the bot will report soon as well. If we don't have, if the TP balance on your wallet is not updated, you can just press update order book, and we see it changed. The amount on my TP the balance has been increased. So basically, we just executed a transaction at best available market price here.
Again, just to point out something that you cannot do with liquidity-based thing. Right? You cannot do that. You are not in control of your price. This is important, very important definition of the order book, because many strategies are based on this, on how you analyze the actual order book. In liquidity pool, you don't have order books, nothing to analyze. You just execute whatever price it is in just, one divided by another.
Okay, yeah. And you see, currently the bot is kind of waiting for all the pipe chain being processed, where I'm planning to make this process more synchronous to provide feedback faster. It is possible, and it will improve the user experience. But
yeah, but it's also important to mention that as you could see, the transaction itself on the order book was almost momentary. It's like once the external message arrived, boom, it was executed. The rest of transactions are just basically all sorts of after the fact transactions. You already got your tokens, but there are several transactions that we need to track. And these transactions relate to announcements of this trade to some other contracts like IMM, for example.
Basically, we have a notify that broadcasts or subscribes all these events that happen on Flex. Okay, so now we just saw an example of transactions with the manually placed orders. So I just want to go to DevNet to see more examples. We can change the network. And the new network, in DevNet we have more different token pairs because a lot of testing goes on here. And first, what I want to show is Earth token in pair with Stone. So basically what's going on here is trade bot is make some trading with itself. So we have here some price history. The prices fluctuates here. We have candlestick chart. So basically, this is an interval chart, and we see the results of the trading in particular interval of time. Here it's half an hour. We see, if we click on the particular interval, we see all the details of trading, high, low, or open, close prices. And if closing price is below the open price, we have a red candle. If closing price is above the open, we have green candle on these kinds of things. So basically, in the upper right corner, we see the volume of trade for the interval as well. A bit of interactivity. On the order book, we don't have a large order book here because the bot trades with itself all the time. So now the orders appear, they're being traded almost momentarily. There is some trade history, that's a lot. We're not going to trade with the bot, but let's it enjoy itself. I prefer to demonstrate you another very important example is demonstration of trading with AMM. So Mitja already discussed it, automatic market.
There's just maybe a question from the audience. So why when buying at the price of 0.1000001, the cheaper books at 0.1 and 0.05 were not filled first? So can you comment on this, please, as well?
Because there was no debot or any like program that executed that strategy on this order book. Right? If you want to create a strategy over order book, you need to have an algorithm which executes the strategy. So you can, for example, make just a server program. For example, you can make also a automatic program that you will see now, but you can have a server program which would monitor the prices of the book and execute whatever strategy you want, and you can fill order, you can whatever, execute whatever strategy you want over the order book, just because it's totally atomic. The order book itself doesn't have logic. You need to create a logic on top of the order book if you want to do anything, but you can do anything you want, basically.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the price is atomic object on Flex, and but the Flex debot has the entire order book known. So basically, we can trade with specific prices, or basically at the Flex debot level, we can create more complex orders, not just buy and sell, but for example, a specific price, specific volume, but like market orders when I want to buy a certain amount of tokens at best market price, and the price is in the order book available, and the bot just start buying at the best price and go up to the on the order book. So we're planning to realize market orders, and you see, it's possible to make the bots smarter and smarter, realize different strategies. So basically, whenever you have the order book available for you, you can just implement various algorithms on the debot level.
And it's not only on the bot level, as you can see with IMM, it's also can be on the smart contract level. So you actually don't need the bot. But of course, you need someone to like, well, the trades are going to ping your smart contract to execute whatever logic you want. And we have a possibility implemented already to have that notification. So you can subscribe to notifications with your whatever smart contract you want, and you get notifications about every trade. So you know, so your smart contract will actually know the whole order book and what happens to it. And it can be triggered by these trades as an event, and then you can implement any logic you want. And you also can do it off chain. So like through depots. So anything you want.
Thank you.
Yes.
Let's move on.
So here we see the order book of posted by automated market maker. What MM contract does, it uses available liquidity from its pool to place buy and sell orders. Sorry, just a moment. Here's order book. Let's see. Because I see this list of traders, sorry, I just want to show you the order book. It uses liquidity in its pool, liquidity of TIP2E tokens and of TONs, for example, or any other pairs to make market orders around the recent market price. So whenever we are trading with AMM, it executes the deal, and after it cancels previous orders and post new orders around the new around the recent price, and we can see that I will demonstrate you that it is not a static order book, but it's a dynamic order book. Let us make a transaction, say, let us make the same transaction. Yeah, and currently it's deployed and tested in DevNet. But just for the matter of saving some tons, but it can easily be deployed in mainnet as well. Let us repeat the same transaction, say buy at the best market price, buy 3 tokens. I want to buy 3 boosts again, being redirected to DecentralizedSurf. Authorization. Hope we now balance here. Confirm transaction. Again, I saw this message, and we need to see what will be happening with our price contract. So we initiated a chain of messages, and we see that it has been changed. These two were equal. And it means that soon I expect information from the debot that everything completed. Yeah, and we see that just fix 3 tons with the latest price. So currently the AMM cancels previous orders, and it should post new orders around the latest market price. So I hope we'll see a new order book with the orders around 3. Yeah, we have the best buy order is price 2.5, the best sell order at a price 3.5, we have with the step of 0.5, we have a new order book. So I'll update my yeah. Here I have 4 tokens. Used to be 1. I bought 4 boost, 3 boost tokens. So basically, here we see a demonstration of trading with AMM, and at the moment, the AMM owner provides liquidity to the AMM pool, but basically we also a liquidity depot will be available soon, so any liquidity provider will be able to contribute to provide liquidity to the pool to earn some and share rewards from trading on Flex. So
anyone can actually launch their own pool as well. So you can launch your own pool and get subscribe to the syndication service and create a different logic AMM, or AMM with which you control, with your money, with your liquidity, with your providers. And on top of, we will provide some contracts, like template contracts on top of the AMM and on top of Flex, which will be related to like templates for launching your own liquidity pools and governance tokens on top of these deep liquidity pools and so on and so forth. But that's next stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys.
Basically, it's all that I was planned to show as demonstration. I don't know, Mitja, do you want to say anything about the governance token for Flex?
Well, as I said, there will be governance token for Flex, and we're working on that right now. And there will be also like a template model for governance tokens that you can launch with your token, because there is a logic which already included in Flex, which are wrapper logic. So you can basically wrap any token you want to the Flex tip3 token to the Flex tip3 token, and trade it on there. But also we'll provide you with some templates of how to launching your like governance tokens on Flex and all things around that.
Okay, guys, we are running out of time a bit.
Thank you very much.
Let's thank you so much for presentation. So let's maybe dedicate 5 minutes for questions, and if there will be too many, so we will just move them to the offline part. And yeah, so any questions, guys, please? Yes, no, please.
Yeah, maybe it was already said, I'm sorry, but how can you, okay, so for example, I swapped some tokens on Flex. How can I, if I want to send them manually to someone else, how do I get them into, how do I control the tip3 tokens manually, aside from using the exchange?
There is a like a tip3 token debot which you can use to control your tokens. That's not a problem, but you have to remember that once you're trading this, the wallet you're surrendering the control to the exchange. So like the tip3 token wallet that you have on the exchange is controlled by the order book. So therefore, well, one of the price contract of the order book, let's say this way. So you cannot really do anything while you're trading. But of course, you can withdraw tokens once they are on the wallet, once you're not trading many.
And just to make sure, you can only buy and sell for tons, right? You can't swap between tip3 tokens.
You can. Yes, you can.
Okay.
Here you go.
We have, for example, pairs of tip3 token and tip3 ton tokens. So we have different kinds of pairs.
Yeah, you can trade between tip3 and ton and between tip3 and tip3.
Any more questions?
Yeah, Alexander, please. No, I finished.
Yeah. Hello, guys. Mitja, Can you explain a little bit more about this solution with installation, this debot interface with SDK? I mean, what's interesting, this is this mean that, for example, on my PC and Windows, I download and did installation through exe file, for example, and after that, I can use any browser, yes, and it will work directly through the bot with blockchain, and it's not need something more like browser extension, etc., etc.
Exactly. You only need a browser with WASM. That's all.
What's about future if we will use Linux, Macintosh, or iPad, even, or mobile?
Matter. It doesn't matter. It's
but how you will install it on iPad, for example, this?
You just need a bundle. It's not an exe. It's just a bundle that that your browser opens, and you can actually you will be able, like, if you want, you can download this bundle even from blockchain. Like, you can place this bundle on the blockchain. You can open a wallet on your, like, in the browser, some wallet extension or whatever, and just download that bundle. There are many ways of how to distribute that bundle.
No, at least I see two ways. Download and install, like, software with yes,
yeah,
or
you can
browser extension.
Yeah, you can. No, you don't need a browser extension.
No, for example, on iPad, I'm not sure that I catch how it's used on iPad. Yes, I mean, it's iOS, for example.
It doesn't matter, as long as the Safari browser is supporting WASM. You just open that bundle in Safari browser, and that's all. You can open it from the local, like, machine, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Of course, there are, like, the bundling itself we didn't do, of course, but it will be like you can, for example, pack everything together. You can make an iOS application which would include the bundle in the browser altogether, and you just open that application. It will open the browser and open the bundle, for example. And you can do many things.
Mm-hmm.
As long as, like, there is, like, hundreds of ways how to distribute this bundle to your machine.
Okay.
Without any need for any kind of web server.
Good idea.
Okay, guys, let's move on. Alexander, is everything clear for you? Yeah. Yeah, we'll have one more hand, and so we have time for one more question, and let's move on. Alina, please.
Yeah, hi everyone. We have a question from Hard Criteria from the contest. What's mechanisms for maintaining liquidity order book users in the system you have?
That was the half of presentation. It's IMM. That's the mechanism of the liquidity providing. Automatic market maker is the liquidity pool. So you kind of can put liquidity into market maker. Right now it supports, like, you need to put both ends of the liquidity, like of the pair. In the future, you can make different logics on top of that. It's completely flexible. Pardon my no pun intended.
You wanted to say this. Definitely.
But this is exactly the AMM that you just see on your screen. Is its order book that you just saw how it's rearranged itself. This is the liquidity providing mechanism.
Okay, and what about maintaining users? Like, because as I remember, it was the part of the idea of having this third stage, like,
what do you mean maintaining users?
Like staking, like farming, like these mechanisms.
There are no staking or farming mechanisms in that solution right now. So that isn't the part of this solution currently. As I said, there will be, like, we will work on that, but on next stage. Right now there are no governance tokens or, like, liquidity things, but you can connect.
But liquidity providers can share the profit of the automated I think that AMM trades on Flex and earn some profit on spreads, and it's just shipped to liquidity providers.
Like it's like in any exchange, real exchange, not liquidity pool. You have the flexibility of building on top of one exchange. You build myriads of different solutions, and these solutions can include, you know, whatever you want: liquidity farming, staking, whatever, governance, whatever you want, really. And anyone can do it on the same pair. So you don't need to build it. You don't need to hardwire it like to your particular liquidity pool, which supports particular pair. You can create solution for particular pair, and you can create many solutions, liquidity solutions, liquidity pools, staking, farming on one pair. So you can have one pair and have like 10 different farming mechanisms on top of this pair, or combination of pairs, or combination of liquidity pools.
Okay, just to be sure, because it was a hard criteria for this contest. This is why.
We provided the connector to that, so you can, you know, connect your own thing. But again, if you want to deduct points on that, that's fine with us.
Okay, guys, so sorry to interrupt. So we really need to move on because we have not so much time left. So thank you for questions and opinions.
Thank you.
Yeah, if there are any other questions, so please do not hesitate to ask guys directly in the chat. And let's move on. So actually, we have guests here who I will just explain a bit about the Decentralized Launchpad contest. Just let me ping them, just to let them know that I will invite them soon. I see Raman already here. Yeah, just before I will give a word to Raman, so who represent one of the teams that will also be participating in this contest already. So they already announced this. So and they will tell a bit about their project in future. And we have also several other teams who have already announced that they will participate in this contest. So this is something new, so nobody has seen this already. So for guys from 40 Foot, so it is also a novelty. So actually what this contest is about and how it will be structured. So traditionally we will start with the architecture and design stage. And one of the new points here that were not previously in our contest is a requirement to maximize the reusage of the already existing solutions. So I even put this in the hard criteria. So because actually this is something that we need to really motivate, because we have already created a really well-developed ecosystem, and we want each new contest to be relying on those solutions that have previously been developed, motivating on its own, so the developers of those solutions to maintain them and get some demand for their services and whatever. Yeah, so actually what the Launchpad is about, if you don't know, so actually this is a decentralized way of launching new projects with crowdfunding. However, as you may know, so when at the era of ICOs, there were quite a lot of scammy projects that actually didn't really deliver, and they just took the money of investors and went away. So this is not the case that we will tolerate here, actually, and this is why we put here some requirements for the control of the liquidity through the vesting and through the consensus of investors for releasing the next tranche of the vesting to the project, and the ability also to withdraw the funds if the project didn't achieve the KPI, the next milestone KPI, and the investors at least will get a part of their money back. Also, what is in this contest is actually about mainly the architecture of how the system will be built, and we also insist that the system should be purely on chain. So meaning that all the interfaces and off-chain parts should be supplementary and do not affect the core functionality of the Launchpad, and they can help. They can add some convenience, but if we take out all the off-chain parts and all the interfaces, you should be able to really do everything you need with this Launchpad only through, I don't know, ton of CLI calls. Yeah, and also there should be a draft of a platform roadmap, because what we learned from the DEX is that actually many things can change, and different teams see the development of such platforms in a different way. And this is good actually, because we can collect some feedbacks, we can collect some information and improve the implementation context and make it more universal to let more people come and join the contest. And of course, it should be purely decentralized, so including censorship resistance, distributed management. I have some kind of DAO in mind, but maybe the team can propose some different ways of decentralizedly managing this project. So I will post the link to this document together with a forum publication to the chat right after the call, so everyone can have a look on the content description and participate in discussion for sure. So I personally believe that we will be able to do this by Monday and launch this contest on Monday already, to not just put this aside for a long time. So, but if there are some critical disagreements between the community, so it may take a bit longer, but I really ask you to do everything for us to launch this contest next week. Yeah, so and now Roman, who is representing the 40-foot project, so will tell us a bit more about themselves, and maybe also say a few words about what they are doing actually and why they decided to go for Freeton with the project. So Roman, please, you can share.
Yes, thank you, Vladislav. Hi guys. I try to share with you some slides from my presentation. I think it will help me to structure this call. Can you see it? Yes.
Yes, we can.
Great. I want to start with a couple of words about my background, because it's important. Since 2006, we involved in multiple projects around digital banking solutions. So we launched in 2006 the company which calls MFM. It's a big aggregator of SMS traffic from banks, pension funds, insurance companies. Now it's they aggregate more than 2 billion SMS per month. They're working in Russia and other countries. So the next project was IDE Mobile, where we focus on developing white label digital banks. Our first client in 2011 was Tinkoff Bank. We developed iOS and Android mobile bank for this bank, and after that Unicredit, Société Générale, Home Credit Bank, more than 25 huge retail banks are working on our white label solutions. Later we launched our own neobank, which calls Instabank, and after 3.5 years of operations, I moved from traditional finance to crypto. So since 2017 I'm working on project which calls Trastra.com. This is a solution which combines benefits of different cryptocurrencies with traditional payment infrastructure. Think about Trastra like crypto debit card. Definitely, you know, Crypto.com, Wirex, CryptoPay. So the same service you can get with Trastra. And the idea of Launchpad came to me when we see the huge demand of listing different kind of tokens and to provide them crypto to fiat gateway. And Later, wait a second. Yes. So and currently we face with booming of personal investments and DeFi markets, and also we inspire of story of AXA Infinity and Mobox. Currently we see that several similar projects, well-funded projects, are starting on this way, and we think what we can do for it. And as Vladislav said, currently everyone thinking about launchpads and tokenization as a fundraising mechanism, but we focus on tokenization of existing assets like in-game currencies. And our value proposition divided for two directions. The first one, we can help different projects to be funded through tokenization, but the main idea of 40-foot Launchpad is to provide token as a service for game dev industry. And our, I think, unique value proposition is Trustra and Swipelux. These two projects, the first one I founded in 2017, and now Trustra operates in European Economic Area in 31 European countries. We have more than 120,000 users. And Swipelux, this is a project which I invested in. This is a B2B solution like Mercurio, Indacoin, maybe you know it. So this is a crypto to fiat gateway for merchants. And I think that we can use these two products, these two assets to provide unique value proposition for our projects. So to start working with 40-foot, they automatically have the option to be listed in these two crypto to fiat gateways. Also, the idea for promoting and for marketing is to develop our own social mining platform, which we try to acquire influencers and pay them in tokens, in our project tokens, which we are going to launch. As I mentioned before, we have two directions. The first one, we are going to help to fundraise money to new projects, and in this case, we are going to have very typical monetization, like participation in pre-sale stage, and most of our competitors work the same way, like DAO Maker. So they don't charge new projects for consulting or development. So they get some liquidity on initial stage and sell it after the on the stage where the token sale stage. So the same with us. In this way, we are going to make money on it, and but the main idea is to tokenize existing in-game currencies, and this idea is much interesting for us because in this case we will get pure utility token. Nobody will say that this is security, so this is pure utility token which can be distributed free of charge inside the game, like in-game currency. And in this option, we are going to make money on commission, on transaction commission. We already have the first portfolio project, which calls InvestMaster. This is a mobile first game for people who are going to become an investor. So you have two options here. So you can choose different kind of shares or different kind of crypto assets. We provide real market prices in this app, and we make battles between two different persons or between you and community. So you can develop your own investment portfolio and stop a period of time, like 1 hour, 1 week, or 1 month. And after this period of time, you will see who make more in percentage money on its portfolio projects, and who make more. So this is a way how to define the winner. And this game is going to be launched in the beginning of November this year, and this is the first project where we're going to use our mechanic of tokenization in-game currency. Also, we have a lot of big projects where we know founders or decision makers. So this is the list of companies where we have direct connect with the brain, and this is the way how we are going to develop our go-to-market strategy. So currently we are in a custom development phase, and we try to receive feedback, and this feedback is really very positive. As I mentioned before, the idea is to provide token as a service for game dev companies. So currently, based on our customer development phase, we can say that these companies, they extremely focus on their existing business. They extremely focus on holding their existing needs, and they also heard about Axie Infinity. They also understand the potential of such a big opportunity as a play-to-earn model, but they don't have enough time and resources to understand better what does it mean and how it will work. So our idea to provide this token as a service model to game dev and save their time and help them to launch it much faster and much easier. Good thing that we have CodeMotion company. So CodeMotion.eu, this is a big outsourcing company in Kiev, and my wife, she's a co-founder of CodeMotion. It means that we can instantly get best developers in our projects, and we have unlimited development resources. So CodeMotion, it's top rated Upwork developer, so you can check. They have very big volumes in Ukraine, in Kiev. They're number 2 or number 3, I guess. And they also, I'm talking about Upwork, the platform, and also they have very good reputation there. And this estimation for developing and launching MVP for Launchpad and social mining platform. So our idea is to receive this amount of money as a grant from blockchain, from flex.ton, and I think that in a couple of months we can be live. So we have 2 co-founders. Dmitry Vysotsky, he's working as the CTO in this project, and he's quite a famous guy because currently he made an exit from his company Profitera. Profitera, this is a big data analysis company for retailers and FMCG market. He made a very good exit last year, and he has strong experience in artificial intelligence, with data mining, and he is a data scientist. As I mentioned before, I'm a fintech entrepreneur. I have good track records, and also not most, but all my previous projects since 2006 was work from with digital banking or fintech sphere. Also, Andrei Abramov, he is also on this call. He joined us as a product owner, and currently he helps us to develop 40-foot platform, and I think Andrei could help me to answer your questions.
Yes, thank you, guys.
It.
Yeah, maybe just a comment. So really, the team of Roman has come to DeFi Alliance initially. So with a discussion about the potential grant, so we recommended them to participate in our Launchpad contest that we were preparing at that time. So and I really believe that it's a good synergy between the teams. Yeah, so if you have any questions, so please raise your hands. Guys will be able to answer for sure. Yes, Alexander, please. Alexander, you're on mute.
Sorry. Hello, Roman. Thank you for your presentation. I have a question. I met only one time word NFT in your presentation. For my opinion, game dev and cryptocurrency in gaming, maybe it's equal or even more possibility and opportunity to use NFT tokens through game on game multiverse. And maybe on this second way, as usually currency like T3 or ERC20, I mean fungible tokens. Why? And what you do think in the future about NFT cross gaming crowdfunding launch finding? Do you understand my question? Yes?
Good question. Yes. Andrew, may I ask you to help me?
Yeah, sure. Hey, everyone. Regarding the NFT tokens, we totally understand its potential. At the moment, we are at the start of our path of building the Launchpad, and currently we are very excited with the play to earn boom, which, as you may know, is currently happening. So at the start, I believe we will start with the crowdfunding functions, but NFT marketplace and NFT integration to in-game processes will be definitely present in our roadmap, but it won't be, I believe it won't be the first step we need to take.
Okay, thank you. And for now, can you give some example, for example, one game, existing game, and you talk with them about use your Launchpad For what reason? For example, they have in-gaming currency, and you said them that, okay, let's it will be cryptocurrency, and you start use this cryptocurrency, how in-game currency, or what? A Launchpad for what reason?
Yeah, you are absolutely right. I can't give you the exact titles, but our partner Dmitry, who is absent on this call, unfortunately, at the moment, he's holding the customer development with the big and middle game dev studios like Playrix, Gamma Games, and so on and so on. And the use case is the exact you've mentioned. So they have their own currency, they have their game launched and bring in some audience, and we propose them to tokenize their in-game currency and make it digital asset.
So big companies, they're waiting for good examples, good use cases to follow. And currently we focus on small projects like InvestMaster, who wants to launch the game with existing token. Definitely Playrix will wait for a while. We'll check how it works. And I think that we already have success stories like Axie Infinity, who do it. And it's a matter of time when we see maybe next year the boom of transformation from existing in-game currency to tokenized game currency. Also, maybe you checked the last news about Apple. So they have to, after the decision of the core, they have to allow projects with cryptocurrencies to use crypto in-app crypto.
What's
So
the biggest challenge you see in this idea? I see at least two challenges. It's first about gaming monetization and how we will do after that they use cryptocurrency. For me, it's a little bit harder to do monetization for game. And second challenge, it's payment for transaction for gas. If we use inside of game cryptocurrency, on all blockchain, it's pay for gas or the fees. What challenge did you see in this business? For me, it's big to challenge at least.
In fact, Roman, do you mind if I answer the question?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. So the challenges you've mentioned, they are already solved by a couple of games that already utilize play-to-earn model, for instance, ChainZ, Arena, and a couple of others that are being launched right now. So these are no big deals, at least as we see it now. We may be wrong, you know. The biggest challenge I see, but it's from the business perspective, not from the technical one. The biggest challenge is to, you know, find the first game from the big game industry who would like to tokenize its game. And after that, it will be much easier to find projects who would like to work this way.
Yes, exactly. But we have one already.
Thank you for your
I
answer.
mean,
Thank you.
I have a question. So you want to bring the in-game currency outside of a game to crypto infrastructure, but who would buy it and for what reason? You basically, you know, if it's an in-game currency, it's used by gamers inside the game. When you bring it out, what's the purpose? I mean, it doesn't have any use case outside of a game. What would be the purpose for people to buy it at all? Of course, a lot of players would want to sell it, you know, to basically get, you know, fiat currency for it, but who would buy it?
It's about monetization, what you said.
Yeah.
We already seen a lot of use cases where in-game assets try to sell in the real world for real money without any tokens. And I think it's a question of amount of liquidity in this game. So think about like airplane miles, like air float miles. So you can use this mile to upgrade your ticket, but also you can book a hotel, use it in a different way. So this is a question of time when the amount of liquidity in game liquidity.
But yes. what would be the use case with air miles? You know, you have a party that accepts these miles in exchange for a discount for a ticket. What kind of a use case do you see for? Let's be very specific. Like, what kind of use case do you see?
No, you can see wargaming industry, and you can buy different kind of in-game assets in real world, and the same mechanics. So why do you need to spend time to develop your profile in a game when you can buy it? And this is the case.
Sorry, Roman. Another case is that we want to make the games current, I don't know, classic mobile games do not allow you to earn money, while play-to-earn model allows gamers to earn money, to earn crypto and withdraw it. So it's the question you ask, it's the basic demand question. So if the gamers will be able to earn on crypto, they definitely want to buy more of it. And one more important note is that current in-game assets or in-game currency the games have do not have to be converted 1-to-1 ratio to the crypto to the token they will launch with us. So it should not be 1-to-1 ratio, and it doesn't mean that the demand will be zero. And the demand always comes from the new players in every area in the industry.
But if you want to convert existing game strategy to play-to-earn strategy, it's one thing. But this is the like different business. But if you just tokenize in-game currency that doesn't create, because the play for earn model, it's very simple to understand how it works and why it works. But what you are doing is a little bit different. I think you kind of missing some parts to your strategy. In my humble opinion, of course.
I believe we are not, since the thing we propose, it's a joint task between the game and our Launchpad. So we give the payment infrastructure and tokenization procedure, and they will have to develop in-game mechanics. So we won't develop in-game mechanics, play-to-earn mechanics for them. This is their business, and this is their obligation to do this. Our obligation is to launch the token and provide liquidity and give them the payment infrastructure. So it's not it's not one business, it's two businesses, and they are separate.
But providing liquidity would be a challenge. It looks the way it looks to me right now.
I believe we can discuss it in chat later
Sure.
on.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because we are already out of schedule. So
Sorry, Vlad,
yeah.
one last remark.
Please, please.
I will share with you some examples of how it is already done in some play-to-earn games. So it will be easier to understand.
Yes, it's better to use existing use cases, and based on results of our customer development phase, we see that it's quite understandable, and I guess game companies, they're waiting for such a solution because it's quite simple, and the token as a service, it's what exactly we can offer them.
Okay, yes, thank you, guys. Let me just let one last question. So from Anzor, and we already need to wrap up, actually.
Yeah, just quick
it's
question.
too interesting to discuss, so the guys don't want to let you go.
Yeah, it's a very interesting topic, really. Just one quick question for you guys. Andrei and Roman, how many hours a week do you play games?
Honestly,
and which games are those?
Honestly, I'm not playing games. I do financial services, and
okay.
I'm staying on payment and fiat to crypto exchange side. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. No more questions.
Roman is doing business, and I'm playing games. So
he is paid to play games.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have two colleagues who are very experienced in this area. So we divide our expertise for two parts. Andrew, please.
Yeah, play to earn really catched me, so I play a couple of the games and do it rather regularly.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys. So on this good question, so I have to wrap up our discussion. So thank you guys really for coming to us, and we had so few time to discuss, and it was one of the most interesting meetings in my personal opinion. So yeah, so if you guys have some other questions to Roman and Andrew, so please feel free to ask in the DeFi chat. So they are there, so and just ping them and ask your questions. And by the way, what I wanted to say is that you see how differently you can approach the Launchpad question. That's why I deliberately wanted to see them at our DeFi call, because the guys are building the Launchpad specifically for the gaming projects, and you could think about all different applications of different Launchpads for different industries, even for real products, maybe create kind of Kickstarter for real products on Freeton network. So it will be also really something fascinating. Yeah, so I thank you everyone for coming, and I'm really sad to wrap up this meeting, but we have to do this. So, and see you next week at the same time in the DeFi chat and at our weekly DeFi call. So I wish you a pleasant weekend and say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for inviting us. Bye-bye.
Again.